There she is. The sun is up. Let's get after it, girls. Come on now. We got hay to finish up. Here we go. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Monday morning, sun shining. Supposed to be in the 80s today. We've got about 140 acres left of our fourth cutting alfalfa to pick up. So we're gonna go start merging. It's 7 o'clock. They're supposed to start chopping at 8. Those of you guys who watched my last video, Uncle Rob was finished the day out merging on Saturday. That's how far they got. He did get the headland of this big field done. So I've got a little cushion, but I'm gonna get up here an hour ahead of them to try to get ahead a little further. It's been a real good crop so far. I don't know if it's been quite as heavy as third. Certain fields definitely have. But it's been on the money, like moisture-wise, on the money. Big leafy stuff. There was just a few purple heads when we were mowing it, but that's not at our fault because we're actually mowing it 3 days early in our routine here. So yeah, just a few purple heads, but the quality should be outstanding. Moisture should be perfect. Yeah, it is going to be kind of a hectic day. Down a truck driver, Uncle Rob won't be here. School's getting ready to start back up. He's a teacher. So a lot of these guys are headed back to their, regular routine. We've got to get some corn silage today. So that's going to involve a truck or two shutting down really before we even get started, honestly. We got to go get it at 9. So I don't know, they might be able to haul a load or two before they head over, but yeah, they got to go get some corn. That lady was a hippie. Holy moly. Yeah, so they got to run over and get a load or two at 9 o'clock, but shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, compared to what we were able to get done on Saturday, today should be a cakewalk. I shouldn't even say that because something's going to go wrong now. Funny story. They did the headland, but the headland's chopped. So no head start. Forget that cushion I told you about. Forget that. Jeez. All right, we got to get rolling here. He left the tractor and merger up in the field. So hopefully everything in theory should be good to go because it was working when he parked it. So let's go check the oil and get after it here, guys. That's not a good start. He did not realize that he didn't realize that this settled. Didn't put the jack down on it. I hope nothing's bent. All right, I played it safe. I unhooked it from that end, split it into two, we lifted it up, put it back together and put it on. So, dodged a bullet there. My other 8330 does not settle at all. So you don't have to put those down, although I do just because it's a good... The last farm I worked at had a 4650 that we merged with. And that thing would settle in 20 minutes. So I have just always been in the routine of putting those down. So yeah, we dodged a bullet there. Jack's ready to go. Hay's ready to go. That is... work. Let's see where we're at. I don't remember. Is that the one? Yep. That's where we're at. Resume work. And okay, we should be good to go. So there was part of the headland on. I probably just ran out of trucks. Although, I'm looking up ahead there. He must have plugged her up or something up there. There's wads and it's kind of a mess. I did that like 3 times the other day. It's tougher when it's heavier stuff, it really is. But, well, I actually kind of prefer the heavier stuff, but like doing edge rows and corners and stuff, you really got to be on your game because you get a little too far out and get into those weeds, the outside head will slow down and plug up, or Yeah, I'm not sure what happened up here because it actually looks like he ended up throwing the row back out. Huh. I'll have to talk to him next time I see him, see what happened there. But this corn, I don't know, it's probably one of our worst fields of corn. Not that it's bad. It's a, you know, it's a pretty decent field of corn, but this end is pretty wet. This was planted the second day we planted. So this is the 40-acre field that I was talking about. If we wanted to do a starter pile, this field would be an option, although we're only a mile from our grain bins. So it is nice to be able to combine these up here, especially being a little wetter. Sometimes they can be a bit of a bear with a truck. But if we wanted to do a starter pile, this wouldn't be a bad option. And really, all things considered, for as wet as it was when we planted it, it doesn't actually look that bad. More uniform than I expected, but I think that field's been corn for 3-4 years, so that one might be on its way out soon. Now you can see an ear hanging there, just a little lone wolf there, but it's definitely drying down. Yeah, here's his, I wonder what happened here. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna be a good Samaritan here. I'm gonna hop out and spread that out by hand just a little bit. It's amazing how packed in those will get that quick. Like, there was a lot of hay in that wad. Also, it's amazing how fast it heats up. He merged that, it was probably 6 o'clock Saturday night. So obviously it sat all day yesterday, but the inside of that was hot. Like cooking hot. So, yeah. Oh well. I just figured I'd spread it out. It's not worth wadding up the chopper over. I didn't get it all, but enough where it shouldn't bother them. So, yep, we're gonna hammer along here. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Yeah, the boys are on the move. We were able to get quite a bit done. Hey, Bob. Actually, before they got up here, they all got fueled up. They went and got corn silage already. So that way that is done and out of the way. But yeah, they're dropping the hammer, so they're gonna be catching us here. Luckily, this field's probably half done now. Probably half done. And then I got 40 acres up behind the bins to do. And then one little 2-acre piece. So, yeah, hammer down. All right, rolling into the last field here. Up this our grain bin site. We've got, I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of 80 pregnant heifers up here. Looks like they're all in the barn right now. They come out here to eat, but continuous dryer, that's our wet bin there, the little one. And then we got 4 10,000 bushel bins. Combine 150, 200 acres a year to put in there. Then we truck it to the mill. They grind it and bring it back to us as ground cornmeal that we use in the ration. So you could see pretty distinctly, they did the outside of this field on Saturday, and then they did the middle yesterday afternoon, just so it didn't get too dry and out of hand for us for the top of the bunk. So that stuff will definitely be a little greener. We're good on the top of the pit anyways. So this field's deceiving because it doesn't look that big. I mean, you can see the, that's the edge and this is the edge. So it's a relatively narrow field, but it is a long field. So I want to say it's 40 acres. Takes longer than you would think, but we are going to hammer it out. And then we can get to moving manure. We'll probably have to cover some point this afternoon. So, also, pretty awesome view from up here. It's kind of a muggy day, so you can't see near as far as you usually can, but usually off that way you see windmills and all kinds of cool stuff. And in the fall, this is a fun place to be because you could kind of see the whole valley and you could just see dust coming up wherever they're combining. So that's always kind of cool. But anyways, let's get after it here. So for those of you guys who don't merge very often, I just figured I'd kind of share how I do it. I said a couple videos ago, I generally like to do the outside last. That's kind of a new thing that I started here, and I've really enjoyed it. This field I'm not overly worried about just because it's so narrow. There's only going to be probably 4 or 5 rows across the whole field, so it's not the end of the world. But you see we're working along here, got some foxtail on the edge of the corn there. We're going to throw the outside in, and we'll go back around the opposite direction, throwing the inside out onto that. 34-foot merger, and I generally will put 2 passes into one, so it's more than twice 34, because I generally leave about a 6 to 7 foot windrow. So yeah, right in that, 80 to 90 foot, depending on where the mowers rows are. We use 2 swathers, 4990 deer and an R450 deer. So no triple mowers or anything like that. So because of that, my rows are a little narrower. It's not laid out quite as flat as these guys that are chasing the triple mowers. Also, they're old enough we don't run GPS on them. So I'm only using GPS because it's on this tractor. My other tractor went down. Although, like I said in the previous video, I think I'm going to definitely get my other tractor set up so I can put this stuff in that. Kind of been spoiled this cutting here. And now that I'm used to it, especially on these long fields, it's really nice to have. So we'll see how that all goes. But anyways, so yeah, I'm throwing outside in, inside out, and then we'll just go down and back, starting at one side of the field, working our way to the other, depending on the heaviness of the crop. Now, when I'm in triticale in the spring, 9 times out of 10, I'm just putting one merger width on top of another row. That stuff is so heavy. You start chopping 8 to 10 tons per acre. Sorry about that. 8 to 10 tons per acre, kind of a crop, and you can't really put 80 foot together. That's you could, but we got a 9700. And I just don't see the need. It'll eat it very slow. And if you were to catch a wad or something with that much material in a row, I just don't see the need in doing something like that. So I'll put one more merger width on top of another row, and we'll send it like that. That gets a little trickier, but that's what we tend to do with our triticale crop. But for the most part, alfalfa, this is what I'm doing, 2 onto 1. I will, if it's thinner, go 3 into 1, 4 into 1, depending on the thickness of the crop. But 9 times out of 10, this is what we're doing. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that because everyone does some different stuff. I know I watch enough YouTube and TikTok over in Europe. It seems like they're kind of primarily rakes over there. You European guys, let me know why that is, if it's just because it's grassier over there. I would really love to come to Europe someday and tour some of your guys' farms and operations over there and really talk to you guys, because it seems like America, I'm not going to say we follow the path that you guys are doing over there, but cropping, it seems like, like you guys have always used wagons, the big flotation tires. That kind of stuff is kind of making a comeback over here, just to eliminate compaction. And because of the issues with our CDL drivers, they're so hard to find. I've seen a lot of people are kind of making a trend back to wagons. It'd just be cool to come over and see how you guys do it over there, or like New Zealand, Australia, places like that have interested me, just to see, what and why. One question I've always had for, I guess you'd call it European farmers, why is everything so, it seems from the outside looking in like it's bunched up. when you guys build your farms, the barns, the bunks, the lagoons everything is incredibly tight. There's not a lot of room to get around. Like, I like everything open, spacious. You know, we're building a lagoon, we're building it away from our barns. Our bunks are away. Like, it just seems like, and I'm not putting it down, I'm just questioning what the reasoning is, because it seems like over there, that's what you guys are doing. Everything's real tight. And obviously you guys don't have control over the roads, but man, your guys' roads are narrow. I give you guys props for being able to get around and have to maneuver through that kind of stuff. We've got big roads, and heck, I'd like if they were even bigger yet. Yeah, I was just curious why it is. Is it just real estate? You know, you don't have as much real estate, so you're not trying to take up as much space, so you're putting everything real tight together? What's the reasoning behind that? Someday I'll get over there and we can talk to some of you guys. We had a family from Denmark randomly stop in the farm last year, and we had a real good conversation with them. They just happened to they came to Niagara Falls, and then they were going to Letchworth State Park after that, and happened to see the farm off of the road and stopped in, and that was really awesome. So someday I'll get over there and we can have a discussion. But yeah, throw in the comments where you guys are from, and just your thoughts on that, because I've always kind of wondered. Corn's turning brown. I know I've said that the last few videos, but it seems like every video I make, it's getting browner. Leaves aren't really changing. There's a tree over there, leaves are changing. Like, fall's coming. So anyways, that was kind of a ramble, but a couple things that have been weighing on my mind. I just want to let you guys know how I merged, and ask you European guys what the scoop with that stuff is. So throw it in the comments. Well, slight issue. I lost all power to my control box. I hopped out. I don't have a multimeter with me. I hopped out, and all the ground and the hot wires that I was showing you guys in the video when I hooked this up, they seem to be fine. Like I said, without a multimeter, I can't really test to make sure there's power there. But I mean, it's hooked together and taped around it. There's a really big fuse. So I think it said a 40, but it's one of those real big ones. I think that might be blown. It's kind of hard to tell. Luckily, my pickup truck is up here at the bins. Grandpa brought that up this morning to get to the chopper. So, well, I brought it up to get to the merger, and then he brought the chopper to the field I was merging in, hopped in the truck and took that up to the grain bins to get one of the mowers so he could take one of the mowers home, and then rode up with the silage truck to the chopper. So my pickup's here, long story short. I'm not even sure where to get a fuse like this. Maybe they're more common than I think. I'm sure we don't have one. I'm only about 2 miles from our payloader dealership. I'll swing down there first, see if they got one. If not, I'll have to make the hike over to Perry, Napa, and see what they got, or maybe Kelly's equipment. Another dealership up there would have one. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, we're gonna go pull that out. Luckily, I'm ahead enough, and this actually works out. I was going, literally, I just had one more pass to come down through, and that was gonna be it for what was mowed on Saturday. I was actually gonna shut her down, go feed some cows for a couple hours, let that stuff that was mowed last night dry down a little bit, and I'd be helping get the cows fed. Had some alley scraper issues this morning that kind of tied Jack up, so he wasn't able to get all the feeding done. No cows without feed. We do 5 split loads a day, so every cow gets fed 5 times a day. So it's not like our cows are out of feed. They've got plenty of feed. But just to help keep up with that, I was gonna hop in the feed truck and go feed some cows. As you can see, my merger is stuck like this. So yeah, we're gonna run and grab a fuse, see if that's the problem, and I'll grab a multimeter when I'm out to make sure we've got power there. I don't know why we wouldn't. Like I said, hooked up good, taped up good. So yeah, wish me luck. So this is what I'm talking about here. It's my ground connection there. That goes right to the, I can hardly reach up in there, but anyways, it goes right to the frame. That's definitely good. And then this is my hot. So I've got a hot wire My 2 hot wires for the box, bolted and taped. Nothing feels loose there. Without a multimeter to test it, I can't be for sure. So I checked this fuse. This fuse looked fine, but this one here, I don't know. See a little black spot on the left there? Right, no, I don't have enough hands to point it out, but just inside my thumb there, that's supposed to be connected, I believe. Yeah, that's a big dog. Go see what Georgia Sweet's got, I guess. All right, they had one, I grabbed 2, so I'll have a spare. It was blown, they put their multimeter on it. So that's sweet. It's so convenient having those guys only a mile down the road. Hydraulic hoses, airline fittings, to fuses, you know, stuff like that. Super handy. Not having to drive all the way to Perry. I say all the way to Perry, that's only a 10-minute drive. I know there's places out in the Midwest or even Southern Tier, New York, that drive hours for parts, but literally having them 2 minutes down the road is slicker than slick. Hopefully this fixes the problem. Hell yeah. Alright, good deal. That solved the problem. Seems like a natural place for me to quit and go feed cows, like I was saying. We'll just leave this here. Actually, I probably better pull it forward a little bit in case they come to chop this outside row before I get back. There, now at least I got enough room to get around there with the trucks. So I'm actually going to take that swather home. That way that's home, and I'll just catch a ride with a silage truck back up here and get the merger. Finish merging, take the merger home, catch a ride with another silage truck to get my pickup. Playing a little equipment. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Mirror, you know. What the hell am I trying to say? With the chairs, musical chairs, equipment musical chairs. There we go. Good Lord. All right, back at the farm. I'm gonna get at least 1 load fed here. Right now we're unloading some of our soy mineral mix. And then we got some cornmeal over here in front of the loader. So we put in whatever the ration calls for of each of those. I'll drive the truck around the wall over there. Over there we'll put in our haylage, our corn silage, and our triticale crop up to the recommended dose. So what we do is after the grain's put in, we put in our triticale crop and our haylage crop. Usually gets right up in the 9 to 10,000 pound range. And then we'll kick the mixer on. Just don't want to over mix things. So we put that stuff in first. Hop up in. Turn the mixer speed up to about half speed. Kick it on. And we set the cruise. Now I'll go fill it up to about 18.5 of this corn silage that we're purchasing here. All right, I got the truck all filled up. I'm gonna let that mix for about 4 to 5 minutes while I run over. I've got to deface a little more haylage. We don't have enough to finish feeding here today. So while that's mixing, I'll run and deface, I don't know, 4 or 5 tons, something like that. Ballpark, give or take. Then we come on in, we dump it off here. Like I said, we've got 4 groups in this barn and 1 group in the upper barn. And we just kind of divvy up 5 loads, however, it looks to be needed. If one group's lower than the other, they'll get more that day, vice versa. So, vice versa, vice versa. Tomato. So, yeah, that's how we do it. Simple, it's a very elementary system, but it's one that works. So, yeah, we'll get her done here. That way we can get back to merging. All right, I ended up having time to load the truck one more time. One of the truck drivers can unload it when they get a chance, but I am gonna hitch a ride with the next silage truck back up to the field. Go check this pile out quick. It's a nice looking pile. You can see the height of the first cutting here. He's a little bit higher than the third, which will be nice because it's going to settle down some. So you want that to be about the same level, but the higher the better here. And then fifth cutting will probably stick in this little area here. Get all these tires cleaned out. But that's some nice, sugary, sticky stuff right there. Just the right moisture. Except this last stuff's gonna be a little greener, but it's going on top, so that'll work out pretty well. But beautiful day. Plus, just got the call. Grandma's bringing out subs for lunch, so hell yeah on subs. Chicken tender, obviously. The old 9420 still putting in the work. So nice handful of that. Nice and sugary. Look at that. That's not sticky because it's wet. That's sticky because it's good, high quality stuff. You love to see it. Love to see it. All right, guys, you're not going to convince me. I don't care what the color tractor is. I don't care what your preference is. There's no better sound than a 20 series Deere. Sorry, that's just the facts. Don't shoot the messenger. Not saying it's the best tractor ever made, but it's the best sounding one ever made. Sorry. And we know they're not going to get any better sounding. Oh, hell, I got to ride with this guy? Oh, jeez. You licensed to run this thing?
Absolutely, sir.
Joke of the day, Tyler.
All right, guys. What do two dairy farmers talk about while milking their cows?
What do two dairy farmers talk about when they're milking their cows?
Utter nonsense.
Utter nonsense.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mom. That wasn't even your joke. Thanks, Mary, for the joke of the day. The real comedian, the behind-the-scenes one. Classic. All right, we're going to get back to merging here. We're going to go finish her out. Now, it's not perfect, but it'll chop. This last little bit here. He's now literally gonna be following me down the field, but hey, that'll work. Addition of GPS definitely makes for a little smoother roll. Something's going on with my seat. It keeps like lifting me up and down like this. I feel like mini-me on Austin Powers. It scares me every time it does it. It's been doing it all day. I don't know what. Just slams me to the floor and then boom, 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 boom. I wish it would do it while I'm taping, but it hasn't yet. Maybe we'll get lucky. Alrighty, guys, we got this thing all blowed off. As you can see, I'm freaking covered in it, but merge is all blown off. We're gonna take it down to the barn. We call it cemetery barn. Just like a machine storage barn down the road. Get this thing unhooked. Generally, I would unhook it in our machine barn right here at the farm, but going into corn and combining and all that, it's nice to have some shed space in case you got a load of dry corn or something like that you got to get under cover right away. So we're gonna get this unhooked, bring back up. I'll wash this tractor, just get a little bit of dust off of it, put this behind the drill, and then I'm assuming we're gonna be covering bump. If for some reason that is not the plan, then we'll probably start moving manure. But yeah, that's what we're up to here. Getting it all nicely, smoothly rolled. We'll be covering here about half hour. They're getting the chopper all blown off. Saucy looking pile. Tell you what, when it is 90 degrees with zero breeze, covering bunk is not the most enjoyable place to be. But we got it done. It's all under plastic. So, gonna go scrape our fresh cow group. Then I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Pretty solid day. Pretty solid indeed. I smell like a bag of sausages. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment if you're from Europe. Let me know your opinions on the stuff that I talked about earlier today. Share this out with your friends. Hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.